And we're back with some more Factorio. And today we're finally going to finish putting together the rocket silo. We've done an awful lot of prep work to to get this far. We could have honestly launched a rocket a long time ago, but it would have been a weak sauce rocket. So the first thing we're going to do is put together a rocket silo. You would think that you couldn't handcraft one of these, but it turns out no, the engineer is just that type of person. Just 1,000 steel, 200 processing units, 200 electrical engines, 100 pipes, and 1,000 concrete. They're carrying all of those, and they're going to put together a rocket silo in about, 30 seconds. Alright, we are going to leave a bit of a gap here. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting stuff to put in, and I could go back and exhaustively make out a spreadsheet and figure out what I'm missing, but you know what? We'll just leave a couple of gaps, and hopefully it'll all work out for the best. And this is the rocket silo. Now, the rocket silo takes, rocket control units, low-density structures, and rocket fuel. So we're going to have to provide those in very, very large quantities. How large? Well, let's go back over here for a minute. We put in some low-density structure, a module of this earlier. We're going to need a second one of these just to produce enough to do the rocket silo. So this, thankfully, has already been done. I did a little bit of work on this in the background. Actually, you know what? We'll take that up there as well. We're going to want the electrical supply. And if you go all the way down like that, yeah, that looks about right. We can copy this whole sucker right over here. We will, of course, have to fill in some bits and bobs, and we might want to put in a few roboports. Oh, there's one included with it, and so long as the construction robots can reach it, they'll put it together in a few minutes. That will take care of low-density structures, but we're still going to need rocket control units. I think we've already got those made over for... Yeah, we did. We made rockets. We already covered those when we were making the nukes. So that just leaves rocket fuel, of which we are going to need a lot. Alright, once this is finished up, we'll put rocket fuel right beside it. After playing around with the debug map for a while, this was the design I chose. And the thing is, you're going to need... This chemical plant is going to be, well, working flat out. However, these will be working a little bit below flat out. But it does mean I get to do just direct insertion, and it really cuts down on the difficulty of working with these. However, we will have to extend these. And by extend these, I mean we're going to have to extend these a lot. And by a lot, I mean we're going to have to put in 2 layers of them, and we're going to have to make it about this long. With all of this combined, we can produce, what is it, the last 10 minutes, about 366 rocket fuel per minute, or 360 rocket fuel per minute. We need about 353 or something like that, so this will just cover our needs. And look at the size of that monstrosity. Now all we're going to do is copy this into our blueprints book and carry it over to our main base. In fact, I should probably cover this. If you copy something like this, turn it into a blueprint by just dropping it into your inventory, give the whole thing a nice name, and save the blueprint. Now you could export it and do all sorts of stuff, but the simplest thing I find is just go into B, hit the B key and it'll bring up your blueprints. Now these carry over between all of your games. So all we have to do here is grab beacon rocket fuel and say dump it in here. And we're done. Now when we go back to our main game, this will be in there. You know what, let's leave it there just so that I remember. And done. Okay, now I just got to go out, turn off the mods, and then reload the game and go into the other one. Back on our main map then, all we have to do, press the B key, bring this up, find our beaconed rocket fuel, and oh god. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a chunky monkey. Down a bit further, maybe? Oh god, it's going to be out of line with the rest of them. That's going to be slightly annoying. But you know what? That's okay. We're coming close to the end, so if it's a little bit not quite in line, I can be okay with that. We might want to put, one of these suckers up here. Oh, and I forgot to include a power supply for it. It's fine. We can retrofit that in. After a bit of modifications here and there, and a little bit of movement, we now have this sucker just about good to go. You know what? We'll put in a quick one of these there, and damn it, I probably should have left myself a little bit of space. There we go. Now all we have to do is hook up the plumbing, which I've already got the light oil as far as there. Now, will we have enough light oil? Probably not. We're going to have to work on that later. And there's something up there that's flashing, because it doesn't have... Never mind, it was just a little missing piece. We managed to get rid of it, and I think, yep, that's better. It was missing a yellow undergrounder. It was an old design that went in there with a little bit of modifications. That's our rocket fuel all going. So, is that the last thing? I think, yep, that's everything we need to do the rocket. Of course, we're still going to need the satellite, aren't we? I think the satellite, though, it's only a few tiny bits and bobs. This is what you need to make a satellite. 100 blue processing units, 100 low-density structures, 50 rocket fuel, 100 solar panels, 100 accumulators, and 50 radar. Right, that's a good smorgasbord of random stuff. I think we're just going to use logistic robots to build this sucker. In fact, we're going to have to do an entire solar and accumulator setup for this. Damn it. Okay, I think we've got radar already, so we can stick the rest into chests. So we can say grab a requester chest, a passive provider chest, We'll grab a passive projector chest here, and we'll say... Oh, damn, that's the wrong way, isn't it? I think we'll take this back a little chunk. There we go. Now we've got rocket fuel on the network as well. If you recall, we've also got these low-density structures on the network, and I believe we've also got the blue circuits down here somewhere. Where are you? We're going to definitely need more blue circuits, but yeah, there's blue circuits also on the grid down here. We've got everything except the solar ready to go into this satellite. So let's see. I think we stick in our solar build here. We're just going to churn out an awful lot of solar panels and accumulators. We're going to need them later when we get into solar, but not this playthrough, but we might as well get it ready to go. And here's our little solar setup. We're going to have our accumulators created down here. We have 4 assemblers making accumulators and 5 making solar. You need slightly more solar than you do accumulators. Let's not get into the exact ratios. We don't really have to care about that just yet, but we'll turn this on now. And that should bring in the batteries. We've got batteries on the network, on the main bus as well, so that will start up the accumulators. So it's as simple as that. Batteries and iron plate gives you accumulators that get stuck out on the opposite side of this red transport belt and get sent all the way down to the end. Assuming I've configured it correctly and haven't left out a little bit of belt right there. There we go. And then that goes all the way to the end, and it's going to get sucked into this passive provider chest. Now we've got accumulators on the network so that we can build our satellites from them. Then down here, we'll just reverse this. That brings us in copper. This brings us in steel. Those come down here, and they're going to go directly into solar panels. However, we still need green circuits. We need a full belt of green circuits. So trying to get these all in, belt foo-wise, was a little bit tricky. But what we did instead was we brought the green circuits in through here. So they slide in sideways through here until they get past the accumulators, and then they get dumped into the solar panels. Hopefully we brought enough, did we? You know what? I'm not going to worry too much. I think that should be good. Now we've got solar panels and we've got accumulators on the network. And even if they're not a huge amount, we don't really need a huge amount to get our satellites up and running. When we come back to do more solar and we go to expand this into a mega base, then we'll worry about it. For now, I think we can be okay just having enough. Actually, I think we'll make the solar... We might just make the satellite down here. The thing is, it's very easy to set up if we're using the logistics network. All we do is we stick in a few, say, inserters like this. It's 5 ingredients, is it? Oh, wait, it's 6 ingredients. We're going to need 6 ingredients to go in here. It's not so bad. All we do is we put in 6 requester chests. Oh, and we're going to want 1 passive provider chest. We'll just stick that over here. God, this is a glorious mess. And then we'll limit this to, say, 1 stack. I don't think we need more than 1 stack of satellites, though I'm not sure how much they can stack up to. Then all we do is go, oh, we want 100 processing units. Let's say make this 300, I suppose. Oh, wait, simpler idea. I'd forgotten you could do this. You just right-click the satellite assembler, and then you left-click on the requester chest, and then it just puts in all of the necessary requirements in there for you. Done. And then it starts producing satellites. You know what? Let's get rid of that for a minute. We can get rid of all of these. We don't need any of them. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played. And we'll put that out like that. Oh, and we'll limit that to 1 stack. Boom. Okay, so that should be filling that up a bit at a time. There we go. Satellite made. Satellite plopped in there. I don't think you can stack more than 1. We'll say 2 satellites should be more than enough. Okay, so that passive provider chest means we can get that delivered by logistics robots over to our rocket silo when it's made. Do I think that worked out perfectly? Can we put... No, I didn't think you could put productivity modules in there, but it was worth a try. I think we finally have all the pieces we need. All we got to do now is fill up the rocket. And can this do productivity modules? Ah, yes, it can. Excellent. We'll also give it a... We'll throw in some more beacons around it if we need to. For the time being, though, let's just feed in the raw resources. All we need is, say, rocket control units first. The rocket control units, well, they came all the way from back down here. We built those rocket control units, well, just last episode, I think, for the nukes. When we wanted to make nukes, we needed rocket control units, and those rocket control units are all made along here. And we decided to overbuild it. There's enough here to actually provide our rocketry needs. However, we won't be able to keep up with nukes and rocketry, but since the nukes take priority, you know, this will ease into our rocketry program a little bit at the start until we catch up on our nuke production. How many nukes are we up to right now? 2,200. Yeah, that's a decent amount of nukes. That should keep us going if we ever need to do some clearance. Map-wise, yeah, I think we're good on the clearance front. Anything that's anywhere close to us is dead and irradiated, and anything they could possibly have done is dead. Ah, here we are. This is the low-density structure. This is one of the modules we made. This one was sort of started for our yellow science. So this will priority feed into yellow science, and then the leftovers will get bled out down here and all the way along this section. Then we actually have a second batch of that feeding in from up here, so that's 2 rows of low density structure, and then they feed in through here, giving us our low density structure. And then finally we have our rocket fuel, which we just installed recently, and we're not even putting that in the main bus. It's got such a short journey to make, there's no point. Now over here I've done a little bit of a... how do I explain this? Well, while this rocket is launching, we can't really keep filling it up, but we can keep filling up these chests. That will mean that while this is busy not taking in our modules and producing more rocket parts to get the rocket ready to go... Oh, auto launch with cargo? You know, we'll give that a minute. I want to make sure we get the satellite in there. While it is launching or sitting on the launch pad and getting through its launch animation, it can't keep filling up. So instead we stock up these, and then it just means it's faster than waiting for them to get pulled off the belt. This thing can consume them faster than we can rip them off the belt, so this little stockpile here should help carry us over. Now, is that almost done? 51%. Okay, that's going quite good. And this over here is going to be where we put our satellite requests. Where do we put those suckers? Ah, here we go. Just, you know what, we'll make it 3. Keep three of those in there at all times. Then we'll have our logistics network fill that up. That was nice and quick. We're still waiting on the satellites. Come on, where are they, people? Ah, there they are. I'm pretty sure that should auto-feed into it. Yep, they've loaded it up. Auto-launch. That looks pretty. They changed it a lot. Yeah, steam all the way, raining bullets, smoke me a kipper. Yeah, I've got mods in, so I don't think any of those count anyway. Okay, we killed 60,000 trees, 10,000 big biters. You know what? The 60,000 trees is the bit I'm most proud of, though it did take me about 60 hours. I'm not too fast at these things. Though I think, yeah, and I got run over by a train twice, though I think I only reloaded once. Okay. Then we get a bunch of science out of that. That science gets stuck onto the belt. This transport belt here brings it all the way down here to our science labs. Now, if we've done this right, let's see. How are they doing over there? Yeah, they've got that filling up nicely. Dear Lord, we're 23% of the way to our next rocket already. But this is going to start putting huge strain on our factory. This is just... it's a lot. There is so much involved in this. 1 second, we'll put in some extra speed beacons there. Do we need them? Probably not, but I kind of want to. From now on, what happens is we're going to wait and see what starts to go down in our factory. We're going to start running out of literally everything. Steel, iron, copper, green circuits, red circuits, blue circuits, all of that is going to start going through the floor. Oh, research. That was it. Now, let me think. Right now, there's some things we don't need. Stronger explosions don't really count when you're nuking everything. We don't need artillery because there's no expansion going on from our biters we're playing on a Railworld map. And we don't really need better... like, we could go for energy weapon damage, but the two main things we want are worker robot speed and mining productivity. Mining productivity just means we get, well, more resources out of our mines, which means we'll have to build less of them. So I'm thinking we're going straight for that. This will, of course, start to get more and more expensive as time goes by. And, we can queue things up now. Oh, that's great. You know what? We'll do the first 3 of those. Then we'll do, yeah, the first 3 of four of those. And boom, that should start our research off. That is going to be, yeah, so that means all of our science facilities are now going to come online. Oh, let's check power. How's power looking? Oh, God. Oh, God, that's okay. Can we pause research for a minute? There's no pause button, is there? You know what? Let's just stop those for 1 second. That was kind of silly. Yeah, we're a little bit over on power. We're definitely going to have to throw in a bunch more. But you know what? I just want to watch one more rocket launch. It took so long to get here. You can even see the gases coming down the side. That looks so... they definitely improved all the animations in this. Just beautiful. Where were we? Yes, we wanted to expand our nuclear power plants. That was it. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be extended. I think, yeah, I've already built in the water for these, so it should just be a case of grabbing these all the way down to here. Oh, damn it. We don't quite want all of that. We want to get rid of... where are they? These things, the substations. We don't need those. And we can just line that up, and if we've done it right... Yeah, put one there. And another one there. Oh, damn it. Control Z, Control Z. Why would it let me place that one? Ah, there we go. That looks odd. You know what? I'm going to actually go down and have a quick look at this. I think I've missed a transport belt. But we'll want to make sure all the construction robots are already started on all of that. God damn. I love the way you can expand things now. When we head down there, we'll find a swarm of robots headed that direction. Alright, that's a few more reactors either heating up or coming online. And why is there no steam back there? Did I mess up the water inputs? Dear Lord, we're running out of places to pull water out of this thing. You. No, you should be full. You should be full. Ah! I missed the heat pipes. There's no heat pipes behind any of these. 1 second. Alright, more reactors installed. Our power supply is now being met. We might want to extend our nuclear reactors on a little bit more later on. Though I should probably shut down this rocket silo from going off so often. Oh god, it's a bit loud. Who would have thought standing near a rocket silo would be that noisy? Anyway, as I was saying, we want to maybe slow this down a bit. Now, I don't think it'll launch if there's still science packs inside it. Though, I'm not sure. So, let's maybe take some of those out, just in case. Just so we're not wasting so much space science. And we'll leave them in there for now. Oh, that's another beautiful change they made. You can now dump stuff into... Like, normally if you had red in a chest, you couldn't put stuff in it. You had to unlatch it first, or, remove that. Which is sometimes a little bit annoying. Oh, yeah, never mind. We want to see now, though, is... if this will launch, if it still has science packs in it. I don't believe it does, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Well, the rocket's preparing to launch, but you better not. Not while there's still that much science inside you. You know what, we'll take a little bit more out. I don't mind losing a little, but I'm not going to fill that. And it's launching. Does that mean we lose the rocket science? Yep, we lose the rocket science. Okay, we need to maybe set up some automation here. Let me think for a minute. Alright, a little bit of very simple automation here. All we've done is we've made ourselves a... Dear Lord, stop launching rockets. You're going to blow my eardrums off. All it is, we made an automation wire right here. Then you grab that automation wire and we connect those two together. The chest that holds our science and the inserter that inserts the satellites. And then once that's connected up, since this can detect what's in there, it knows exactly how many science is in the chest, which is 6,600. You can see it on the right-hand side there. And then we just tell it, hey, if science packs are less than 2,000, you can activate, but not before. So this will only activate after we go down below 2,000 science. At which point, then it will fire the rocket. Otherwise, this will just sit here and not collect more science. It just means we're not wasting any science or having the rocket launch more than we need. Now, how is our power supply looking now? Still good. What was that? Oh, mining productivity is done. Now let's go and have a check out on how much science we're producing. Well, those giant blues are the science coming back where it suddenly generates 1,000 science. I should probably cover that. I haven't really mentioned that, sorry. These rockets, when you launch them, they come back with 1,000 space science. And space science is used for all the infinite techs. It was sort of introduced as an endgame. If you want to play past rocket launch, you can. And you can use all those rocket launches or that giant resource sink to give you stuff. It used to be there was no resource sink and people just kept making bigger factories and they had nothing to spend stuff on. But once you introduce space science, now you can just burn all those excess resources to get some stuff like mining productivity or make your robots faster. Or make your artillery shoot further, or make your weapons more damaging. It gets out of control pretty quickly. But having those infinite sciences there just gives you a resource sink, basically. And the people with the biggest resource sinks likes to show them off. Hey, we're gamers. We like making stupid, ridiculous, over-the-top things. Anyway, yes, how is our science looking for the last minute? Okay, that's... okay. We need to do a little bit of checking here. That purple science is only can be, 39 purple science? What's going on? Let me do some diagnostics here. Purple science is not being produced because it's not getting the productivity modules, and the productivity modules are not being produced because they're not getting advanced circuits. And the advanced circuits aren't being produced in enough quantities because we don't have enough of them. Yeah, we're going to have to make another stack of this. I think we basically just copy and paste this down somewhere else and give us it'll give us 3 more or 2 more belts of this, or 2 2 more modules of this red circuit should help. And we're going to need the excess plastic as well anyway. I think that plastic is going to be required for the low density structures, so that's going to start to run out too. So I'm thinking we grab, say, right about from here. Yeah, something like that. Perfect. And then we just have to find some place to put that. I've decided to delete this old our module production section. We definitely have lots of productivity modules and lots of speed modules. And I think we're going to need the red circuits more than we need those in the upcoming next, 20 minutes as we try and balance out our red circuit production. Lots of free real estate. We'll just slot this in where about there. We'll have to make a few modifications here and there, but I think... Yeah, oh, that light has to go. But that looks like it should just about work. Oh, wait a minute. You need to get gone, and we need to put in a few extra of these over here. There we go. Dear Lord, it's so nice having these construction robots do everything for you. First thing we do to get this new one up and running is we just plug in coal and petroleum. Now we've got plastic going into both sides of this. This is sort of designed so that the plastic feeds both of the sets of red circuits. Though if I was doing it better, I'd probably put the plastic to one side and then have it feed into both, one after the other. That way these red circuits could take advantage of their beacons more. There's a lot of redundancy here. But I'm too lazy, and it seems like we have enough resources to do it anyway. Alright, with that up and running, I think we've got a shortage of coal that's going to happen, but we'll worry about that in a minute. We'll finish plugging in the red circuits, and then we'll deal with the next shortage. Alright, 1 red circuit's plugged in. That seems to be working all the way along, and they're going to split out red circuits for us. Now we just got to feed those onto the grid. Actually, wait, no. We'll get this one set up first, then we'll feed both of them onto the grid. A little bit of belt fooey, and we've got that all feeding onto there, which is good, I think. Where were we? Yeah, it was purple science that was struggling earlier, though I think it's already sorted itself out. Okay, now we've found the next bottleneck, and the next bottleneck, and the next bottleneck, and on it will go until you figure out, well, until you get everything maxing out. Well, none of the sciences seem to be letting us down just yet. They're doing 290, which means we're going to need to do some upgrades. But I just need to find out where they're falling short. For example, no flying robot frames, no low-density structures, and then it's just a case of going through your base and slowly going back through everything and fixing it up. Though it's nice to see so much activity. Where are we looking right about now? 1.6 gigawatts, is that all? Yeah, we're definitely going to have to make some changes around here. We've maxed out about 260 science per minute. The reason for that is that we've got purple science. I remember now, we couldn't fit everything onto it because of the way it was set up, so we have to copy-paste a second one of these. So if you'll give me 1 second here, we'll just make a second one of them over here. We don't want purple being a bottleneck. We want our resource income to be the bottleneck. And we're going to find out after we install this what our resource bottleneck is. With that plugged in, we should have overbuilt purple science now. We should have more than enough. That actually, I've basically just sort of spliced it in through here. This is not very clean. It's okay, we're getting spaghetti-esque, but it does get the purple to where it needs to go. And that's going to up our science. Now, what was the last thing I was going to get? That plastic is looking a little bit sparse. Good thing we produced a bunch of excess over here from our second red press, and we can go splice that on as well. Alright, with all that extra plastic flowing on, that should help out with some other bottleneck somewhere that I'm unaware of. Oh, there's a gap. Can't be having that. Let's see, we'll force everything to the left there. And let's just repeat that all the way along. There we go. Okay, let's give this another 10 minutes and see what our science looks like. I think we can easily see our next bottleneck here. We can see that all the sciences are all backed up except for yellow. Yellow just can't quite cut it. And yellow down here, it's not getting enough low-density structures. And we did make enough low-density structures here that it should be able to feed it all, but yeah, it's starting to be a little bit starved for copper. And the reason it's starved for copper is we're starving for copper. Where was it? Over here. Yes, this is currently our only copper patch making us copper. We never built in a train system onto this, the same way we did with the iron. With the iron, we put in extra trains just to help us out, and they're working flat out, getting us more iron in. This thing here is not quite working flat out. I think that's only plugged into the steel. Sidetracked. So what we really have to do here is expand this, put in a train station right here and start dropping off copper and start pulling copper from around the map. However, not today. Sort of out of time for this one. I know these are shorter than RimWorld and ONI videos. It's just, there is the same amount of time that goes into them. It's just there's not as much to show. Or usually a case of most of the time is me spent figuring out why something's not working. Or, you know, silly things like this gap here, this was not here. I accidentally placed these adjacent to the pipes, and I just cut out me moving them one tile to the right because there was no point for people to see that. So there's a lot of stuff that gets missed out on. Oh, and this automation did work in the end. Now, on the bright side, I have got my hands on the new ONI DLC. On the downside, I'm going to be replacing Factorio with the new ONI DLC, at least for a while anyway. I'll come back to this playthrough. I do want to finish it off, and I do want to actually build a mega base. The plan is to do it, I'm thinking maybe just head east. Just keep going east really, really, really far until we hit patches of ore that are about 500 million, and then build a mega base out there, like a proper bot-based mega base with a little bit of a twist. But that will be later. For now, I've booked some time off work, but that doesn't kick in until Saturday. So from Saturday, I'll have a whole week off work to just binge an awful lot of ONI content. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But I hope you enjoyed this. In the meantime, this is where we kind of maxed out. About 290 science. That's where the factory is kind of peaking. Actually, 275. Damn, that yellow is really dragging us down. I suppose it does kind of fluctuate a bit because this rocket keeps going off and it sort of sucks up an awful lot of resources when it does that. But anyway, I think I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed and good luck.